Good morning, delegates. We're here with 2 UN officials to discuss all the midday updates.
And I mean, I'm really happy to be here, but this guy here is extremely aggressive, so beware. Just like EcoSoc earlier today. We got many countries, we got Russia, North Korea, Syria. Syria called out Norway and told them to man up.
Are you done? Can I speak now? Okay. EcoSoc needs aggression when dealing with such divisive issues. These are really important topics that need energy, passion, and they can never be dealt with appropriately unless we give them that energy. They've been going on for decades, maybe even centuries, throughout human history, and they're very important.
You know, do you know who else needs some energy? UNHCT. They started yesterday talking about militarization of space, got bored, said it was a useless issue, tabled the topic and moved on to something else. We have no solution there.
I'd argue that a committee that's not enthusiastic about militarization of space is a good committee. Why would you want them to have energy about war?
War? Passion?
Yes, there shouldn't be any passion of war. They should ease off a little. Like you want to fight me? You want to go to war with me?
I would die. We got the permanent forum on indigenous issues. You know when you drop a stone into a pool of water?
Yes.
And it makes these circular ripples? That's the UNPFII right now.
Honestly?
And they're in the water, just going in circles. They don't even have enough signatories on the resolution to even bring it to the table.
UNPFII, get your shit together. That's the only comment I can make about that.
Yeah. Do you know who else needs to do that? We got Russia in CND right now. Said that through all the pain and suffering he went through, he wants a couple stickers and a cookie.
Okay, there you're wrong. Because you know what? This is such a divisive topic. Narcotics is so emotionally draining. They should have some emotional support. They should have some.
They need some cookies. They need some Timbits.
Yes, they do actually. It's a
We
very
can't bring
different topic.
Timbits in here. You know that.
Talking about that makes me hungry too.
Maybe we could get them some fluorescent cheese from the concession stand, and that could replace the cookie.
That would be nice, actually.
Let's move on to block 2, actually, gentlemen. So could you talk a little bit about the ongoing military intervention in South Sudan that's...
Oh my God. The US and Venezuela thought it'd be a great idea to go into South Sudan and just brute force their way in. Guess what? It didn't work. Venezuela's out. US is 60% out. Denmark is in riots for whatever reason, and instead of giving them Danishes, they gave them lollipops. Who could have thought of that? And Venezuela doesn't even have money to providing humanitarian support. They provided them stickers and cookies.
Well, honestly, stickers and cookies are awesome. I just want to put that out there. Second of all, Venezuela and USA are kind of countries, so I can see why they made some poor decisions with the leadership they have not currently. But the Danish government just wanted to have some multicultural treats. And I agree.
Lollipops.
Lollipops are
Multicultural. I mean,
they're
many colors.
universal.
Many colors.
They're universal.
Really?
Aliens probably have lollipops.
Probably true.
So,
Now, if we want to talk a little about some more intervention, it's exactly what the HRC is not getting into any solutions with.
they're just taking a long time to come up with solutions of complicated problems that nobody has ever been able to solve properly for the last few decades.
And they think they can solve cultural issues with intervention?
I think that they are doing the best that they can,
Best
and
that
they're
they
working
can.
very,
The
very
best that
hard.
they can.
They're working very, very hard. I've been there. They're working very, very hard.
Speaking of delegates working very, very hard, the Historical Crisis Committee has seen a myriad of assassinations and assassination attempts over the last 2 days. Do you have any thoughts on the committee?
2 full-out assassinations. This is Lyndon B. Johnson's presidential cabinet. And he had 2 people die on his watch.
Do you know that Kennedy was shot primarily because of his stance in the Vietnam War? Someone fact check that for me, by the way.
I can do that.
This is live news. We don't need to fact check anything.
No.
But thank you for your input. And
But there's
got
a
a
lot
but.
there's a lot of powers who want the Vietnam War to continue, and I would argue that the fact that cabinet members are being assassinated means they're heading in the right direction. If you're not pissing off,
Can I just get a quote there? Assassinations is heading in the right direction.
Yes.
Yes.
You can quote me on that. I think
Thank you.
assassinations are heading in the right directions.
It shows solidarity that even when they die, they'll still do the Vietnam War.
Yes.
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your stances on that committee. We could maybe move on to the Social, Cultural, and Humanitarian Committee, where I understand a lot of division has been sparked between the delegates.
Can we talk a little bit about their freedom of press and everything that's been going on there?
Extremely divisive. complete polar opposites. You have two resolutions on the table, they're complete opposites. Nobody's gonna agree.
I would argue that the whole point of freedom of press is to have divisive opinions. That's the whole point. If they can't argue and disagree, then what's the point of having a freedom of press? At no point in society has having only one viewpoint of any divisiveness ever worked out in favor of anybody else in the long term.
Yeah, but now the only thing that's gonna show up in the newspaper is a crossword and a Sudoku puzzle.
That's fair, but that's the whole
And
point
I
of
mean, I
freedom of
love
press.
those.
That's the whole.
What?
You and me will never agree on anything, and that's okay.
I understand that.
That's the whole point of
I
freedom
get
of press.
that.
And now moving quickly on to our final committee, the World Health Organization. Could you give us some thoughts on that committee?
They actually won an award. You know that. They are now in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most unenthusiastic resolution passing in history.
I would argue that a clear, stable, and an unemotional viewpoint when passing a resolution on world health is a good review to have. It's a good mentality to have.
You're saying we have to be unemotional.
I think we should be
You're
clinical.
saying that.
I think we need to be clinical.
Clinical.
Clinical and unemotional and scientific when passing resolutions on world health.
Fair enough.
Okay. Thank
Gentlemen.
you so much, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.